It's been 729 days, 2 years tomorrow, since the October 7th attack. An excruciating wait for the families of the remaining 48 hostages still being held in Gaza, with about 20 believed to be alive. Now, as mediators negotiate a peace deal, there is renewed hope they'll come home. Yehuda Cohen is the father of 21-year-old Nimrod Cohen, an Israeli soldier who was kidnapped on October 7th, 2023. Thank you very much for being with us. You've been here before. Hopefulness, right? Some signals that maybe your son could come home. How are you today? And do you let yourself feel hopeful? Does this feel different?
It feels different. Well, two reasons. First of all, on this deal, my son is finally on the list. It's a list of all the hostages. In any partial deal, my son Nimrod was not on the list. He's a soldier, he's young, he's healthy. He's not a father, so he didn't fit to any sector to promote him. Second reason, and this is the main reason, is now the two parties, Netanyahu and Hamas, are forced to go along for a ceasefire and hostage deal. Things started on last Monday when actually Trump forced Netanyahu to accept the 20-point plan. And we saw that on Friday midnight. Trump actually told Netanyahu, now that Hamas said yes, stop the intensive fighting in Gaza. So this is a step forward. And I'm emphasizing this because all along, Netanyahu simply always found reason to sabotage a deal. I mean, the last occasion was about 4 weeks ago when the Hamas leaders were discussing Trump's plan, and he just decided to send the Israeli Air Force to try to assassinate them. I mean, okay, to assassinate them, he had 2 years to do that. Why exactly when they are discussing a proposal coming from Trump for stopping the war and releasing all the hostages? So Netanyahu systematically always try to sabotage deals, always on continuing an endless war, blackening the name of Israel, and actually working from personal and political interests. So now that things are forced on the two parties, there is a bigger chance, I don't want to use the word hope, there's a bigger chance things will end in the next coming days.
Tell us about your son, and when he comes home, if you'll allow me to say when, not if. Do you let yourself think about that and about the first thing he'll want to do?
Well, let's say this, after 2 years, they're asking me, tell us about your son. I mean, my son Nimrod is a normal boy, like every other boy. Not a rock star, not a pop star. We're not talking about him because any special thing he does. Only because he had the misfortune to be in the wrong place, in the wrong time, with the wrong dismantled tank. And because of that, he was taken hostage with the rest of his team in the tank. The only fortunate, let's say, relevantly, is that he was the only one taken alive. The rest of the team were assassinated. So we have the hope that he will come back, our family will be whole again. And the important thing is, I'm not saying bring him home, I'm saying I want my son to gain control back on his life. And the message is, this is for him, not for me, not for the family, for Nimrod. He has the right, and I have the obligation as a parent, to be free again.
I know that earlier this year, a group of released hostages confirmed that your son is alive. Have you heard definitive updates since then? And over the course of these last few days, when things seem to be moving, have you been in touch with officials?
Let's say that the last physical sign of life was when hostages returned. In the end of February, 2 of the hostages that were with Nimrod along 8 months, they were with him, they saw him, they were with the same routine. So that was the sign of life. Beyond that, a few months after that, we got from Army intelligence a sign of life saying we have a sign of life attached to a date. It was about, I think, April, May, something like that. Of course, from the last few days, we didn't get any sign of life, but I'll be more precise. Not supposed to be alive, he's alive. And all the 20 that we're talking about are alive. We know it for a fact for the simple reason Hamas have an interest to keep them alive. For their interest, of course, ransom, getting Palestinian terrorist prisoners out of jail, and currently it's their life insurance. So they have a clear interest to keep them alive. Something that I'm not sure Netanyahu wants. He probably wants them more dead. He was sending his Minister for Statistics, Mr. Ron Dermer, to Florida after Trump won the election, trying to convince Trump's personnel that they're probably all dead, no need to hurry. That's why Trump, 2 weeks after, went with the announcement, I don't understand, they are all dead. And anyway, Netanyahu wants them cheap. Netanyahu doesn't want them talking after they will be released, describing what they went through, or actually telling of other hostages who are still alive. So he will have a problem to get them alive. They're not seen like Holocaust survivors, like we saw some of the hostages coming out. It's easy what it is called to rescue them, rescue deceased bodies. And if we convince all the hostages are dead, it will be easy for him to go brute force on Gaza, bombing all Gaza. And if any hostage had stayed alive, had survived, now we'll make sure he'll be dead. So my son Nimrod is there. My son Nimrod is there, alive. And we are expecting that till the end of this week, with the fact that Trump will stay on this, a deal will come, all the hostages will be released, the living one will be released first because Hamas know exactly where they are. A ceasefire and then continue to the next steps. But for now, the focus is getting my son released.
Yehuda Cohen never stopped advocating and never stopped keeping the story alive. Thank you. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today.
We'll never stop. Thank you very much.